A shocking verdict has rocked France, sending shockwaves through the nation's political landscape. Former President Nicolas Sarkozy has been sentenced to prison, a historic first for modern France. The Paris court's ruling on Thursday found Sarkozy guilty of criminal conspiracy, alleging he was involved in a scheme to finance his 2007 campaign with funds from Libya. This decision has sparked controversy and left many questioning the future of French politics. But here's where it gets controversial. The court ruled that Sarkozy must serve time in prison, even though he intends to appeal. This is an unprecedented move, as it's the first time a former French president has been sentenced to actual imprisonment. The court will decide the date of his incarceration later, sparing him the immediate humiliation of being taken into custody from the courtroom. Sarkozy was found guilty of criminal association in a plot dating back to 2005 to 2007, where he allegedly used Libyan funds to finance his winning campaign in exchange for diplomatic favors. Interestingly, he was acquitted of 3 other charges, including passive corruption and illegal campaign financing. Sarkozy strongly denounced the ruling, declaring his innocence and expressing shock at the injustice. He urged the French people to understand the gravity of the situation, emphasizing the bounds of hatred that this decision represents. The court described Sarkozy's behavior as exceptionally serious, stating that his actions could undermine public trust in institutions. The ruling emphasized that the goal of the criminal conspiracy was to give Sarkozy an unfair advantage in the electoral campaign. Sarkozy, who served as interior minister before becoming president in 2007, was accused of using his position to facilitate corruption at the highest level. He described the financing plot as merely an idea, claiming he was being convicted for allowing his staff to explore this idea without his knowledge or consent. 2 of Sarkozy's former ministers, Claude Guéant and Brice Hortefeux, were also found guilty of criminal association, but were acquitted of other charges. The chief judge, in a lengthy verdict reading, stated that Sarkozy allowed his associates to seek financial support from Libya, but the court couldn't conclusively prove that Libyan money funded his campaign. The accusations against Sarkozy date back to 2011, when a Libyan news agency and former dictator Muammar Gaddafi claimed that the Libyan state had secretly funded Sarkozy's 2007 campaign. In 2012, a French investigative outlet published a memo allegedly from Libyan intelligence, referencing a €50 million funding agreement. Sarkozy denounced this document as a forgery and sued for defamation. But the court ruled on Thursday that it was most likely a forgery. Investigators also looked into trips made by people close to Sarkozy to Libya during his time as interior minister. In 2016, a Franco-Lebanese businessman claimed he delivered suitcases of cash from Tripoli to the French Interior Ministry, but he later retracted his statement, leading to a separate investigation into witness tampering. Prosecutors alleged that Sarkozy knowingly benefited from a corruption pact with Gaddafi's government. The trial shed light on France's back-channel talks with Libya in the 2000s when Gaddafi sought to restore diplomatic ties with the West. Sarkozy has dismissed these allegations as politically motivated and based on forged evidence. Sarkozy suggested that the illegal campaign financing allegations were retaliation for his call for Gaddafi's removal as president. He was one of the first Western leaders to push for military intervention in Libya during the Arab Spring protests in 2011. In June, Sarkozy was stripped of his Legion of Honor medal, France's highest award, after being convicted in a separate case. He was previously found guilty of corruption and influence peddling for attempting to bribe a magistrate in exchange for information about a legal case he was implicated in. Sarkozy was sentenced to wear an electronic monitoring bracelet for a year, but was granted a conditional release due to his age, allowing him to remove the tag after just over 3 months. Sarkozy has faced multiple legal scandals that have clouded his presidential legacy. He was also convicted last year of illegal campaign financing in his failed 2012 re-election bid, accused of exceeding the maximum legal spending limit. Sarkozy has denied all allegations and has appealed the verdict to the highest court of cassation, with the appeal still pending. This case has sparked intense debate and divided public opinion. What are your thoughts on this historic ruling? Do you think Sarkozy received a fair trial, or is there more to this story? Share your insights and engage in the discussion below.